Hi guys and welcome back to Modest Lucario Gaming, and we've got something that I've kind of been wanting to do for a long time. It's actually my updated Blackwing Deck Profile. So I've had a little bit of a mix about with this deck just to kind of counteract the current format. So I'm just going to go get into the build and just kind of explain what the changes are and my reasoning for each change. So first off, 3 Simoon, not changing this. This is your starter card. This is what you want to see. This gets your whole combo going. It plus one other Blackwing gets your combo basically fully there, especially if it's a level 4. So, can't change this card. Have to keep this in for now until we get any sort of new support that kind of helps do what Simoon does just a bit better. 3 Bora, best level 4 in the deck. This is kind of the card you want to see with the Simoon because you can add it back or summon it back with the Oster. Continue your plays from there. So if I could run 4 Bora, I would run 4 Bora, but unfortunately we can only run 3. 2 Zephyros. I've always kind of go for 2 over 1 because it's actually not that bad to draw. You have so many Blackwings that special summon themselves anyway, so being able to normal summon this and then special summon another one is pretty good. The bounce, the hand, to summon it back from the graveyard comes up a lot as well. So yeah, it's a combo piece, but it's not completely useless when you draw into it. 2 Gale, would run 3 of it if it was a level 4. It's kind of the only reason that it kind of falls short compared to the rest. So yeah, the effect comes up sometimes, but it's not really that important. Going second, it does help, but other than that, yeah, it's just there for a body. 2 Oster. So again, Oster's kind of just a card you want to add off your combo and just some normal summon it after that, but it's not terrible. At 2, I can't remember if I run this at 1 or 2 last time, but there's a reason I kind of have it at 2 now because, again, if I draw it, I might actually want to summon it if I don't have my combo. 2 Harmattan. Harmattan again's here because it's a special summon. It can turn itself into it, and Oster can just be a 2-card armor master, which can actually come up a lot, which is a very strong boss monster this format. A lot of decks kind of struggle to out this card. So Oster's just here for that reason. Also, it's good low attack point search for Black Whirlwind. 2 Chris. If this didn't have the you can only special summon 1 Chris once per turn, I would run 3 of it as well. Another one of the good level 4s of the deck. Drawing it with Deshani Blackwing. Get your plays going, especially if you have the Simoon. So run on the 2. Then we've got a few of the one-ofs. So we've got 1 Orishi, 1 Gust, 1 Raider's Wing, and 1 Boots. So the Boots and the Raider's Wing are combo pieces you really just do not want to draw. The bad thing about this deck is when you do draw them, you kind of have to go around a different line of combo. So sometimes you do want to see 2 Boots or 2 Raider's Wings in a profile, but I personally just would rather just run 1 and just kind of pray don't go into it. Gust and Orishi are just low level Black Whirlwind searches. Gust is kind of good sometimes if you don't have the Simoon and you have maybe 2 other Blackwings to hand. You can special the Gust, get 2 Blackwings out, link with the 2 that aren't level 4 into the Strix, and then just kind of go from there. So, last but not least, we have the hand traps. This is an imperm. I just don't have them. I lent them out to my friend for a tournament, so he has them for now. So 1 Veiler, 1 Ice Blossom, and 1 imperm. So that kind of means we're running 3 cross out. So I've noticed an awful lot of hand traps in this format, especially the top decks. You've got that Pale deck can run a lot of them. Prank Kids can run a lot of them. So you do run into hand traps a lot. This deck really doesn't like hand traps. A well-timed hand trap can really disrupt your plays. Hitting the Strix hurts just so much. It's just you really need these cards to resolve. So Crossouts here to help that resolve. I've also got the 1 copy of the Call by the Grave. There's for the same reasons, just for hand traps. It can be kind of oppressive as well. Being able to banish your opponent's cards from the grave comes up with a DPE matchup if you come up against DPE. And then, just on top of that, 3 Triple Tactics Talents. I know it doesn't do the exact same thing as Crossout and Call by the Grave, but it's kind of the next best thing. Being able to draw 2 cards, and this deck is specifically good for the fact that if you control any Blackwing and you draw another Blackwing, usually you can summon it. So sometimes your White Strix will get hit. You can kind of draw into more Blackwings, go into your Rusty bodies a hard way just by drawing more Blackwings. So yeah, that's kind of the reason I run these. Just what I've noticed is you really need your plays to go through. A lot of hand traps and negates this format, so this is the best way I chose to counter it. 3 Blackwing really, or Black Whirlwind, really self-explanatory. Best card in the deck, hands down. Being able just to normal summon a Blackwing and search basically any other Blackwing with less attack is just very strong. If a lot of archetypes had this type of card, it would be very busted. Now we've got into the draw cards. So we've got 3 Allure and 1 Upstart. I've added Upstart in because sometimes in this deck, like I said, you kind of need more than one card. If you don't have the Simoon, you need a lot more other Blackwings. Upstart and Allure help with that. The synergy with Allure and Oster is also really good, where you could Allure Darkness a Bora, normal summon the Oster, use its effect to bring the Bora back, and you've got the extra card in hand off the Allure. So that's pretty good. Again, with the Upstart, it's just the draw into your deck for 39 card deck. The game 1000 doesn't really matter too much. What we're trying to do is build a board that your opponent physically cannot break. So usually we will just kind of OTK them, even with that extra 1000, the next turn. So that was the reason. I chose not to run Wing Requital because most of the times when you want to draw, you're wanting to draw because you don't have Blackwings or Wing Beasts. So the fact that you kind of need 2 on board is kind of a win more-ish type of card, in my opinion. I really didn't like it in testing. In theory, it's good, but it just didn't really match up with the likes of Allure and Upstart being able to draw into the cards you actually need before comboing. Last but not least, we have the Phantom Knight spell and traps. So standard, you use the 2 rank up spells to eventually get yourself into the Dawn King Caliuga, which we still run, and then same with the Shade Brigandine. That kind of helps you get into the Time Thief Redoer, which can bounce a card back to the top of the deck, which is pretty strong also this format. So that's it with the main deck. So moving on to the extra deck. 2 Full Armor Master. He is the sole reason I picked this deck back up again, just on a reasonable level. Coming up against a lot of Prank Kids and a lot of Despia, I've kind of noticed this card kind of just walls it. There's very little cards. I know the Guardian Chimera can just kind of hit over this, which is sometimes a bit of a problem, but it's unaffected by card effects, so a lot of the other cards, stuff like Meridia, doesn't touch it. DP doesn't touch it, so it's a very strong card this format, and I've kind of made it a lot easier for me to get this out without the Simoon plays. So the 7s and the 6s is got 1 Raikiri, 1 Hawkjoe, and 1 Harmattan. I didn't run Hawkjoe before, but I've noticed that sometimes this deck can kind of get into a bit of a grind game. So sometimes you might lose the Armor Master. Hawkjoe is good for getting it back if you don't have access to a level 7 tuner and sync or tuner and non-tuner. Harmattan, or not Harmattan. This one, No Thung. No Thung doesn't come up too much. It's there just to kind of push for game. If I have a Synchro into a 6 available, really, that's kind of it. And then Raikiri's just there just to kind of clear going second boards. Or when I'm going second to clear the board. So, we've got the Raid Raptors here. We've got 1 Ultimate Falcon, 1 Arsenal Falcon. The Ultimate Falcon's in there the same reason that I like the Full Armor Master here. It's because it kind of just walls a lot of decks. Some decks really don't know how to out it. The Guardian Chimera actually can't out this one, so getting into the Arsenal Falcon and then just using the Rusty Bodies effect just to pop it, and then being able to summon the the Ultimate Falcon is, it's pretty strong. So that's kind of the reason I run these. Then a separate little mini engine, we have the 1 Raiders Knight and the 1 Rebellion Dragon. Kind of just the OTK for going second. Just get 2 4s on board, which is kind of, pretty easy in this deck. It's not too difficult. Going into the Raiders Knight, use Arc Rebellion's effect just to detach and just gain a lot of attack and just smash into something. Hopefully just get game from it. So that's why I run that little engine. We've got 1 Caliuga, 1 Reader. So Reader, again, is here. Part of the actual combo, just the normal combo you do in this deck with the Simoon or just without the Simoon. Reader is actually very good, just being able to get a monster that can't be destroyed by battle or card effects and just put it in the top of the deck, which is very, very strong. It's very good against a deck that normal summons, and it needs its normal summon, so it kind of just grabs the normal summon that's on the board already and just kind of says, bye, see you later, and gets rid of it. And then Don King Caliuga just makes this deck so funny playing against people, just saying, okay, flip this card, or I've summoned this card during your turn, you can't activate anything. Usually people just kind of say, okay, this isn't fun. You'll get a lot of people, especially on Master Duel, they'll just, even when this hits the board, they'll not know what it does, and they'll keep trying to activate cards and just keep getting negated and usually the scoop, so he is the king of the deck. Last XYZ is 4 Strix. I may try and find room for another 4 Strix. The second one is very, very rarely came up. The very rare time it does come up, you kind of do want it. So, again, it's just part of the combo. It's there at 1 for now. If I really can justify putting it in a second one, I'll find the space. And then the links, 2 Way Strix and 1 Rusty. So I'll put the extra Way Strix in again because a lot of the games are going into very grind gamey type of situations, and I want to have the second one a lot. Especially times when you summon the Way Strix, they've negated it, you've passed for turn with a kind of lackluster board, and you get another turn, you kind of want to have another one of these available to you, so that's why there's 2. And then Bardish again is just, it's a good link 3, part of the combo. Comes up actually the effect of pop when you go second a lot, which is actually pretty good because you can always kind of get a rank 4 it usually after you summon the Rusty. So yeah, strong card, glad it's unbanned, and yep, that's it anyway. I'm kind of happy enough with the deck right now. The way I've set it up is, like I said, to play the deck so that you just don't get any, negates during your combo, and if you do, you know how to deal with them. So the Crossout, Designator, the Call by the Grave, and the Triple Tactics talents are there just for that reason. Getting your plays through, because what the deck can do is very, very strong. A lot of decks can't play through this deck's end board. It's just getting to that end board that's the problem. So, guys, that's it for the deck profile. If you've liked this profile, hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you think of the deck. Let me know what deck you're playing this format if you want. It'd be nice to see if anyone else is playing Blackwings, get their opinion on what their build is, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. A lot of content, like I always say, loads of deck profiles, combo tutorial videos. We're pumping up the content lately, so I hope you're enjoying it, and we'll see everybody for the next video. Goodbye.